Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a brand new crochet bag perfect for daily outings. For this project, I used paper yarn with a main beige color and about 9 different colorful paper yarns. You can also replace the paper yarn with 2mm cotton macrame cord if you prefer. We will need a crochet hook size 3mm, a suitable yarn needle for paper yarn, and some plastic stitch markers. The finished bag will be approximately 41 centimeters wide and 42 centimeters tall. In the previous video, I shared how to make the rectangular base. You can check it out, I've left the link in the description, but for this bag, we will start with only 35 chains and work 8 rows instead of 9. We will not make a double base or add single crochet around it. Because this bag is meant to stay flexible. After that, we will continue working 6 more rows without any increases. After finishing 6 rows without increases, we're going to close this row and begin a new one by chaining 3. Place a stitch marker on the 3rd chain, so you can clearly see where the beginning of the row is. This will make it easier for you to keep track as we move forward. Next, add 1 more chain. This extra chain will act as a spacer before you make your next double crochet. Now remember, always skip 1 stitch before you place that double crochet. So the sequence is 1 double crochet, then 1 chain, skip 1 stitch, and continue. Keep repeating this same pattern, slowly step by step until you reach the very end of the row. Take your time here, don't rush. By following this simple repeat, you'll notice the stitches start forming an open and flexible texture, which is exactly what we want for this bag. Now we are going to make the very last double crochet followed by 1 chain, and with that we finish the first row completely. To close the row, we will go back to the 3rd chain where we placed the black stitch marker earlier, but this time, we are not going to use the same yarn. Instead, we will switch to a new color yarn to close it. We will close the row with a slip stitch, and for my first contrast color, I chose a bright fuchsia pink yarn. This will give the bag a nice and colorful look right from the beginning. Make sure to secure the end of this new yarn tightly so that it does not come loose later while we continue working on the bag. In the next open space, we will start by making 2 single crochets. Side by side, this will create a solid base for the colorful section of our design. After the first single crochet, you should drop the main beige yarn and leave it aside, because from here we will continue only with the colored yarn. Now we are going to repeat the same step in every open square space across the row, working 2 single crochets into each space, one after another until we reach the end of the row. Take your time and enjoy the process. You will notice how the colors begin to appear gradually and blend together beautifully row after row. We have now completed the 2nd row, and to finish it, we will close the row with the same yarn using a slip stitch. Then we will carefully cut the yarn to secure the end and keep it neat. Now it is time to start the 3rd row, and for this row we are going back to the main beige yarn that we left aside earlier. We will pull the beige yarn through either the 2nd or the 3rd chain from the very first row, and from there we will begin by chaining 4 stitches. Place your stitch marker into the 3rd chain so you can always recognize the starting point of this row. Next, we will make 1 double crochet directly into the double crochet stitch that we already created in the very first row. This way, the beige rows will interlock beautifully with each other and create a layered effect. So the beige sections are not separate, they are actually woven into each other, giving the bag a stronger structure and a more interesting design. Remember to make 1 chain between every double crochet to keep the pattern even and flexible. We have now finished the 3rd row. We will close it the same way as the first row using a new yarn color. This time I chose a light purple shade. We will continue in the same way until we have a total of 16 colorful rows. If you don't have many colors, you can simply choose one color that matches the main beige and make the bag with only 2 colors. We have now completed 16 colorful rows, and when we add them together with the main beige rows, the total number of rows is 33 in total. To finish this section, we close the last row using the main beige yarn again so that the design stays balanced and neat. After closing the row, we carefully cut the yarn and made sure to secure the end tightly so it will not come loose later, while we continue working on the rest of the bag. The width of the bag at the top edge now measures about 40 centimeters. Place a stitch marker exactly at the middle point, which is at 20 centimeters. Do the same thing on the other side so that both sides are marked evenly. Now count 10 double crochets starting from the right side and place a marker at the end. Of the 10th stitch, then repeat the same counting from the left side and place another marker there. Go ahead and do the same process on the opposite side of the bag so that all 4 points are marked correctly. After that, remove the marker from the very center because we no longer need it. At this stage, you should have 21 double crochet stitches marked on each side of the bag. We are going to create a pyramid shape on both sides of the bag. I have already made one side and now I will make the second one together with you. We will start with one of the colored yarns by making one single crochet into the empty square just before the first stitch marker. Then we will make 2 single crochets into each open space, repeating this pattern carefully until we reach the next stitch marker. Once we reach the marker, we will finish the row with a slip stitch. Notice that we close the row in the space immediately after the marker to keep the pyramid shape neat and even. We will start the second row using the main beige yarn. Begin by making 3 chains through the double crochet stitch located right under the start of the blue row. In the next double crochet stitch, we will make 1 double crochet. Then continue following the pattern of 1 double crochet followed by 1 chain, all the way across the row until you reach the end. At the very end of the row, we will make 2 double crochets work together into the same stitch before closing the first double crochet start, the second one, and then finish them together to form a neat joined stitch. After finishing the row, cut a slightly long piece of yarn so that we can easily hide it in the next row. We pull the yarn this way to make it tighter and more secure. We will start a new row with a new color. From the triangle section, we will make 1 single crochet into the first empty space. Then continue by making 2 single crochets into each open space all the way across the row until you reach the last triangle. In the very last triangle, we will finish the row with a slip stitch to close it neatly and then cut the yarn. We will repeat the same steps we did in the previous 2 rows, and in the end, we will have a total of 6 rows forming the pyramid shape. Now the body of the bag is complete and we have finished using all the colorful yarns. We will start making the handle using only the main beige yarn. From any point on the sides, we will begin with 2 single crochets and continue in the same pattern across the rest of the spaces until we reach a different point. Now at the beginning of the pyramid, we will make 2 single crochets in the large empty spaces and 1 single crochet in the colored rows. This way the handle will stay even and the transition between the plain and colorful parts will look smooth. Take your time with this part because the handle is important for the final look and strength of the bag. In the very last space, we will make 4 single crochets together so that it creates the corner shape neatly and gives a smooth turn for the handle. Now in every space we will make 2 single crochets. This repetition will give the handle a consistent thickness and keep the edge looking even all the way around. At the end of the pyramid row, we will make 4 single crochets inside the triangle space. After that, we will continue with 2 single crochets in the larger openings and 1 single crochet in the colored row. Remember to check your stitches from time to time so the handle stays even and the bag looks neat on both sides. We will keep repeating this same pattern all the way to finish the row and then continue on the other side in exactly the same way. Now we will close the row with a slip stitch and begin a new row. Work 1 single crochet into each stitch across. At the start of the upper side, we will increase by making 3 single crochets in the same stitch to form a nice rounded corner. Then continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch along the edge. When we reach the other end, we will again make 3 single crochets together to shape the second corner. Continue with 1 single crochet in every stitch and then repeat the same steps on the opposite side. We have now finished the second row and we will close it with a slip stitch. After closing the row, we will cut the yarn and continue in a different way. Make sure to weave in and secure the yarn in carefully so it does not come loose later. In this row, we made 3 single crochets in each of the corners. On the middle stitch of the 3, we will place a marker to keep track of the exact center point dot. We will repeat the same step on all the other 3 corners, so that every corner has a marked center stitch. In the middle of the upper row, we will begin by making 1 single crochet in each stitch until we reach the marked stitch. When we get to the marker, we will start a long chain strap of about 70 centimeters. Which came out for me as 105 chains. We will then close the chain back into the first marker at the beginning of the row, just like this, and make sure the chain is straight and not twisted. After closing the chain, we will continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way until we finish the row. Next, we begin a new row again with 1 single crochet in every stitch. Be careful at the corner because here we will decrease by joining 2 stitches together as one, and we will repeat the same decrease in the opposite corner. On every chain of the strap, we will make 1 single crochet until we reach the other side. At that point, we will again decrease in the corner stitch to keep the shape even. We will repeat the row one more time and also repeat the decreases once again to make the strap and corners stronger and neater. In this way, we are making decreases at the corners so that the handle becomes straighter and cleaner on the inside. After finishing the third row of the handle, we will make one more row using slip stitches all along the edge. This final row will give the handle a neat, straight, and well-defined look. Now that we have finished the slip stitch row, we will cut the yarn. Close the row in this way and carefully weave in the remaining end. From here, I will explain the rest in theory because it is very similar to what we have already done. We will simply repeat the exact same steps on the opposite side so that we end up with 2 handles instead of 1. The 3 rows we worked for the handle on the inside will also be repeated on the outside in exactly the same way. That means we will crochet 3 rows of single crochet stitches. Whenever we reach a corner, we will make a decrease to keep the shape smooth. At the starting corner of the pyramid, we will also make a decrease. And at the starting corner of the handle, there are 2 points where we will decrease again to keep the handle balanced and even. Don't forget to finish the 3rd row with 1 last row of slip stitches to close everything neatly. Now we have completely finished the shape of the handle. And this is truly one of the best ways to create a strong handle that can carry heavy weights without losing its form. Thank you so much for following along with this tutorial. And please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more crochet designs. See you next time, bye!